Enter Abraham's tent, where it all began, where the promises of God were spoken by angels, and where the troubles of man found divine answers. Listen now as experts on Judaism, Christianity, and Islam discuss the intersections of religion, politics, and power. No secrets, no agendas, no retreat. With our political correctness surgically removed, join us now in Abraham's tent.
Hello, welcome to our newest episode. I'm Cory Miller, here with Dr. Mark Christian. Hello, Dr. Mark Christian.
How are you
doing? Good. I'm really good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm happy. You know, we have a new administration and we have a new era in American history.
Yes, we do. It's definitely a new era, for sure.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about that a little bit today. Obviously, we've got a new administration in town, in D.C.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit first about how things ended on the last administration. How things look there, not necessarily as it relates to domestic policy, but more along the lines of foreign policy. What types of things were done that maybe most people didn't see that would be critical, important to what's going on out there?
That's a very interesting question, as a matter of fact, because, you know, in America, there was lots of mixed emotions, or actually two camps kind of feelings about what was going on. A camp who are very optimistic about the new administration and the new era in American history that just about to start, and then a new group that are very bitter about the loss that took place in November 8th and the exit of President Obama. Many people look at it as the end. There is nothing can represent that and show that very clearly other than the CNN episode about the end. And they talked about President Obama leaving office and the inner circles and behind doors and how he put the speech and so forth.
And the tears.
And the tears.
We can't forget the tears.
I bet many of people have seen the picture of most of the staff, top staff, sitting behind that, the curtains looking at the final speech and so forth. Maybe we can put this on, to show it to people, later on. But away from outside of the United States of America, there is also mixed emotions. There is people that are very disappointed about President Obama. As a matter of fact, there is a kind of united emotions of disappointment of the presidency of President Obama. And that is from different flavors.
Outside of the United States?
Yes. Okay. They are united on not liking the presidency of President Obama. The people that was actually very optimistic about him and what he was going to be doing for them, and this is mainly the Islamist movement, they are very disappointed. Saudi Arabia, one of those countries that, if you remember, President Obama in the very beginning of his presidency kissed the hand of the king, kissing the ring, and then throughout his presidency he was very supportive of the Islamist movement. But at the end, because he did not do what they want him to do or hope that he will do for them by expanding the Islamist agenda and installing the Muslim Brotherhood, he tried. You have to give it to the guy. He tried his best.
Did what he could.
Yes, but one of the big things is the red line in Syria and so forth. And when he did not follow through and he did not intervene in Syria militarily, that is a big setback for most of the Islamist movement kind of leaders and countries. On the other side, the people who didn't like his presidency in general, that did not change. They still don't like it. They have a little bit of happiness that he's finally gone. People in Europe, in the same way, they look at most of their leaders has been puppets in the hand of Obama for the last 8 years, and many people in Europe don't like what's going on, and they don't like the culture that they are living in right now. So there is a united kind of a feeling of disappointment of the presidency of President Obama. There is a lots of uncertainty about what President Trump is about to do and the change is going to take place. But I can tell you this: you know, America has been for quite some time, for years, as a matter of fact, as the kind of the backbone of the world. And people feel happy and feel comfortable when they see strong America. And this is kind of having a comeback right now, away from all the pundits and the TV show, especially on CNN, and what they say about, you know, people have uncertainty about what's going on and they are worried about America in the future. Everybody has a sense that the strong America is coming back, and this is giving sense of security and safety in the whole entire world in general. But back to your question is, what did President Obama did before he left office? There's a couple of things that the media did not even talk about. I didn't hear about it whatsoever in the American media. And those two things are related to Syria. The first one is right before he left office, you know, a week before he left office, he did two decisions that is gonna, you know, affect the future of the presidency, at least in the coming month, which is the problem of Syria is really affecting, you know, the whole world in a way. You look at what's happening in Europe, you look at what's happening over the refugee and ISIS and all that kind of stuff. He did two decisions that is really, you know, very, very interesting and is going to be causing some kind of problems in the future. The first one is he put the names of the top 18 leaders in the Assad regime, the current president of Syria, on a blacklist that will stop anybody from the current administration to have any conversation with them or even sit with them on a table of negotiation, because he named them as war criminals, and they are not be able to be sitting down with any of the current administration. The other thing is he lifted a ban on arming the opposition of Assad or the Syrian regime. And he's putting this in the name of this is give more access to the Kurds, which is namely the good friends of Americans, that they can arm themselves with whatever weapons they need to further their goal. And that definitely did not sit very well with Turkey, with Saudi Arabia, and also with Russia.
When in reality, he could have simply said, "We're willing to arm the Kurds."
But he said,
instead of, because mind you, folks, when we talk about the enemies of Syria, ISIS is an enemy of Syria as well. ISIS is a rebellious group to Syria. So ostensibly, what he's doing or what he's saying is it's okay to let ISIS buy whatever they want to buy. No?
Absolutely. And many other regimes in the Middle East, they say this is going to have access to give weapons in the hands of terrorists that they never had before. And that is going to put like the whole terrorism on a completely different level. And you know, you're talking about weapons that they never had access before. From that perspective. So I think those two decisions never been highlighted in the media in America, and never been talked about, and they are very crucial, and they are very very important in the fight that is about to take place in the world in general, and to get rid of ISIS, to stop the terrorist attacks, and to kind of put the world in a status of peace. You know, it brings the fact that it is very interesting, to be honest with you, that President Obama started his presidency by earning a Nobel Peace Prize. And when he left office, the world was in a disastrous mood more than ever. And the Syrian problem is one of the biggest problems that took place in history of humanity in general, by the number of people who died and the number of people who have been refugees and moved from out of their country and so forth. So I think they should take that prize away from him.
I concur. Absolutely. I mean, he came in with the Nobel Peace Prize. We now find ourselves essentially on the cusp of a third world war.
Absolutely, and we talked about that, you and I, the last 4 or 5 years, you know, and they keep on talking about, you know, the why Russia and what is the problem between President Obama and Russians and so forth, and you can see that the biggest problem is the fight over the Middle East and over the influence of the Islamist movement from the Muslim Brotherhood perspective, or the Sunni Islamist movement, and the secular regimes in general, and you can see that people are in a disastrous situation way before President Obama. But let's be optimistic. We are in a better place right now. We are in a better position. We have a new administration, and maybe we can talk in the next episode about what is supposed to be happening and taking place in the future. Because yes, we can be optimistic. We can be happy about the new administration and the new era, and we can be excited. But there is work to be done.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that was been some great information today. I don't know how many of you understood or realized that the outgoing president has tried to once again kind of handcuff or hijack the new administration policy-wise. So anyway, interesting things going on. We're going to catch up on more of that in the next episode. So for today, we thank you for watching. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We'd appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.